According to a new report, a young female student was allegedly raped by a trans female, which we know is a biological male, in what is called a trans-inclusive bathroom at her New Mexico middle school. She detailed the incident that took place in October of 2021 in her diary, saying, I was raped, effing kill me. A sixth grader at the time of the alleged attack. This is at Ask Academy Charter School in Rio Rancho, New Mexico, detailed how she was raped by this biological male that was older than her. But again, you have access to the same bathroom, you have access to the same locker rooms, the same changing rooms, and the male student entered the girls' restroom, attacked her, pinned her down, and forcibly raped her. And her mother did not hear about it until she saw it in her daughter's diary. And this is, it's it's really infuriating because you're called all sorts of names. You're called a bigot. You're called a transphobe. You're called a homophobe if you say, hey, allowing biological males into women's, anything could lead to disastrous consequences. They're like, I can't believe that you would call all trans people sexual deviants. And it's like, I didn't say that. I'm just saying this is not a good idea to mix the sexes in this way. This is not a good idea, even if it's not a person who actually thinks that they're trans. It could be. But to think that this policy wouldn't be manipulated by people who are sexual deviants is absolutely preposterous. But again, we're not supposed to care about women anymore. We're throwing women just under the bus, I guess, at this point.
Yeah, but that is really, you just nailed it. This is the greatest attack on women this nation has ever seen. It's the greatest attack on children. It's the greatest attack on the womb. It's the greatest way Satan can attack the kingdom of God is to destroy legacy, and legacy comes through procreation. Because two lesbians cannot procreate, nor can two gays. Go try. You will fail, like 100% of the time. And that's what this is all about. And so you say it in Sex Nation, Sarah, so eloquently in the movie. They destroy the family unit. That's when they win. Maybe you need to see Sarah say that, and you're eloquent in that. And that's what's going on here. As if the tools that a man has in his pants makes him a man. It's in your wiring system. It's in your DNA. It's in the neurons in your brain. It's in the, endorphins in your body. It's chemistry. So you take a guy that has cut all these tools off and you put him in a bathroom with girls and he gets aroused chemically in his brain, and he's going to act upon it. I don't care if he tells you he was Martha from birth. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Yeah. He can't stop that. No doctor can replace that. You can't cut that out. It will happen.
Well, don't worry, because the Rio Rancho Police Department, they're investigating, but it's a little slow because of staffing shortages. So I'm sure justice will be done.
Well, Jaco, I wouldn't recommend that people go and try to procreate with the same sex. But I do get your point, and it's.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
They do it anyway, and they know and you fail. That's why you failure. You fail at this. Yeah. You cannot.
100%. I agree with everything you just said, and for me, call me a radical, but I disagree with coeducation in the first place. When it comes to the very existence of a what do they call it? A transgender bathroom?
Yes.
Trans-inclusive.
Trans-inclusive bathroom. When it comes to these things, it's indicative of a culture of disorder. And so it can only ever breed the kind of incident that she wrote about in her journal. And of course, you'll begin to see more things like this come out. And, genuine conservatives have been warning all along that these transgender bathrooms would lead to this kind of a thing. And of course, Democrats and leftists and Marxists said, well, no, it won't. We're the party, we're the ideology of morality and of decency, when in reality, they're not. And I think that this should be proof that they're not.
I wanna really quickly, I wanna cover kind of where else this leads, because it leads to, of course, women being raped and in uncomfortable situations where they're being assaulted. But it also leads to just a complete break from reality at all. Take what's going on in southeastern England, which again, you're like, well, that's not here. That's not in this country. Just wait a few years. It will be. There is a school that is under fire from parents and critics after one of its teachers scolded a student over her refusal to accept a classmate as a cat. I'm not making that up. Her refusal to accept a classmate as a cat, because that is how her classmate identified. This is 8th grade students at Rye College in East Sussex, and they were subjected to a class on life education, during which they were told they can be who you want to be and how you identify is up to you. And then they got chastised for, needing a proper education, and despicable for not agreeing with this gender ideology. Watch.
And why do you think we have so many problems in the world with homophobia?
Yeah, but
Because
that's
of
not
people
homophobia, that's gender.
Yes,
I'm
it
fine
is.
with lesbians and gay people.
Same.
I've got nothing against them.
Same.
But gender there is a link between it, and you're saying that people
There
can't
isn't.
change
No, they
who they want
can't.
to be.
They can't. Unless you
You're
get a
so
penis
wrong.
attached. No, I'm not.
You're confusing sex and gender.
No, I'm not though. Because if
Yes,
you have
you
a
are.
vagina, you're a girl. If you have a penis, you're a boy.
Yeah, you can't have a vagina and be a
Good
girl.
for
But then
them.
Unless you
identify
get
as
surgery, and
that.
even then, because you've got those
It's about how
genes.
you identity.
Oh my God.
How you identify.
Yeah,
But
listen.
it's not an opinion that
Yes,
we
it is.
express in this
Yes,
school.
it is.
No, it's not. And if you don't like it, you need to go to a different school. So
I did go to a
I'm
different
reporting you to Miss Willis. You need to have a
Miss
proper
Willis.
educational conversation about equality, diversity and
I ain't doing
inclusion.
it. My mum
Because
won't
I'm
let
not
me do
having that expressed in my lesson. When I'm teaching you about you can be who you want to be,
Everyone else
how
does
you
that.
identify is up to you.
Okay. How you identify is up to you.
I love the kids' schooling.
I know.
Taking to the cleaners a teacher, Miss Willis.
How embarrassing. How embarrassing.
How
I'm going to report you to Miss Willis. Okay, go ahead.
And she makes an argument of gender, and then but the kid can be a cat,
Right.
right? It's homophobia.
It's
Are we not talking about a kid being a furry here, trying to be a cat
that's
or a
a-
dolphin? What homophobia?
trans species. That's
They don't.
we jumped the shark from transgender. That's not the same thing at all. At all.
Why do they smoke at that school?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
If you like that clip, there is plenty more where that came from. Click the link in the description below to subscribe to the News and Why It Matters YouTube channel to watch the full episode.